Now, most of us in midlife, most of us middle-aged men and women could do with losing some weight. And it feels difficult, because it is difficult. Because once you're middle-aged, you've gone through some hormonal changes, and your body tends to want to hold on to fat. And you often find you're not as energized, because as the years have rolled past, you've done less and less, and now you feel that it's just impossible. Okay, let's say you're at base camp. Let's say you're watching this video, you're at base camp, you feel you're out of shape, and you want to lose some weight, for whatever reason. For more energy, to look good, to get back at your ex, to go to a wedding, to go to the beach, to be more healthy, to live longer, because science says you will live longer if you weigh less. So, what is base camp? Base camp is you need to move more. Even before we look at our diet, we need to move more. And quite often, even without changing our diet, you will see results by moving more. It's very easy to achieve. We need to start using data. We need to start using measurements. So how do we measure that we're moving more? Well, the old-fashioned way is you can simply make a note of it. I walked for 10 extra minutes today, for 20 extra minutes today. I walked for an extra 40 minutes today. Better than that, today, get yourself a device that will record your steps. I want you to start off tracking your steps. Now, if you're pushing yourself hard in exercise, it's generally smart to have some rest days. Steps can be done every day and should be done every day. So I want you to start to build up, to work on your steps. This is the first place to start at base camp. Before we get to the summit, we're at base camp, right? So I want you to start building up your steps. Now, get yourself a device, whether it be a wearable, whether it be your smartphone, and I want you to look at what you normally do. So for the first couple of days, don't do anything different. Just look. What is your device telling you that you've done on steps? That will be your base camp. Make a note of it. Record it somewhere. Now we're going to start add to it. So for the first week, let's say you do 3,000, 4,000 steps. I want you to bring that up to 6,000 steps. Week 2, by the end of week 2, I want you to be doing 10,000 steps a day. Now, it sounds a lot if you've only been 2, 3, or 4,000 steps. It sounds a lot to go to 10. But trust me, it isn't. And you don't need to do, it all in one sitting. You can spread it out through the day. So get out of bed, before breakfast, after breakfast, do a 20-minute session of walking. Now, you can actually walk, get outside in nature, walk, or you can just march on spot. If you actually start want to throw in a little bit of, muscular building, high knees, or even leg raises. These will all increase your step count. Now, what we're looking for now is just movement. Movement burns calories. So if we're lifting up our movement, if we get to 10,000 steps by the end of our second week, we're burning calories, which means that even if we do not change our diet, we're starting to lose weight. Fantastic, right? It's easy, right? So we move on from there. So if you don't adjust your diet, you just keep eating what you're eating, to keep losing weight, you're going to have to keep increasing your movement. Now, in most cases, you can't out-train a bad diet. If you're overeating, you can't out-train that. You would end up literally non-stop walking for half or most of your day. So the combination is, we need to increase our step count, and we need to reduce our food intake. All right? Now, let's look at that again. Reduce our food intake. We can reduce our food intake, or we can make smarter choices in food, because you can actually increase your volume of food, but be eating less calories, which means you don't go hungry. Where I like to start is get rid of all the condiments. So get rid of all the sauces, because they're full of sugar, often full of fats, unhealthy fats, and they can add up to a lot of calories over a day, over several meals. So you can either cut them out, go cold turkey on condiments, no more brown sauces, ketchups, no more unhealthy in a bottle sauces, or you can get the low fat variety, okay, and make sure they are low fat, and reduce them, reduce how much you're consuming. I don't have any condiments, so it really depends on you if you feel you need them or you can't live without them. So look at your condiments. Sodas. If you're still consuming sugary drinks, sodas laced with sugar, it's time to swap to 0 cal or no sugar, artificial sweetening sodas, or non-calorie drinks. Black tea, black coffee, water, you know. You have to get rid of the sugars in your drinks, because, again, you're going to end up consuming a large amount of useless calories that have no nutritional value whatsoever. Alcohol. Now, this is hard for a lot of people, I know. At the very, very least, you need to limit your alcohol. Again, it's full of calories, but not only the calories, it slows down your metabolism. Your body is going to spend a lot of time metabolizing the alcohol, which means the less time that it's going to be, metabolizing your fat cells or your fat storage. So you want to reduce your alcohol. I mean, if you can get rid of it, good on you. It's no good for you anyway. But if you can't, at least reduce it. Bring it right down to 1 day a week, twice a week. I used to do this two drinks a day business. They've now, science says now that, there's no safe limit for drinks at all. I don't drink at all now. And since I gave up drinking, it's a lot easier to stay in shape. So that one's for you. Now, on from that, we're going to start looking at increasing our fiber. Okay, you can eat a lot of vegetables. You can eat a lot of fruit, even though the fruit is full of fruit sugar, fructose. It's high fiber. Berries are fantastic. With fruit, you can eat a lot of it without gaining weight, same as vegetables. So increase your fiber, increase your vegetables, increase your fruit. Lean cuts of protein. Okay, so, cut off the fat, or buy lean cuts of meats. That's the fantastic place to start, is to reduce the fat intake. You need to increase your protein, because increasing your protein automatically leads to you feeling fuller for longer. And of course, we need protein to grow muscle mass, and that's eventually what we want to do. While we're losing weight, we actually want to be increasing our muscle mass, or you end up skinny fat, right? Okay, so the place to start, lift up your movement, start to work on your diet, and look at my next videos that will deal with how to grow muscle. See you in the next one.